Standards-based grading and reporting is something that many schools are considering and are working toward using for their populations. But we want to think about, why is it so important? It's not really about just changing a report card and making it align to the standards. That's really not enough. In fact, that's kind of the end step. There's a lot more that goes into the process before you actually get to a standards-based report card. So we want to think about why. Why are we doing this? And the answer lies in grading. Standards-based grading is an entire procedure, culture, behavior, and practice that we use to make our grades accurate and consistent, meaningful, and promote learning. So if our grades don't do that now, if you've ever felt sick to your stomach when you had to give a child a grade, maybe a child who worked very, very hard but hadn't actually gotten to grade level yet, and you wanted to write a note home to their parents, or you just wanted to pull them aside and say, don't worry about this grade. If you've ever had that feeling, then you know the current grading system that you're using isn't accurate, consistent, meaningful, or promoting the learning for that child. And so you're inspired to find something else. We try to illustrate this relationship with grading with what we call the story of the bees. So I want you to imagine I'm a science teacher and I have 4 students. And my first student comes into my classroom and can do about 80% of the material. And so for that student, I give them a B. My second student who comes in starts off not really being able to do a lot of the material, really struggles, gets a couple of tests with a low grade. But they work hard, they recover, they do well, and by the end of the experience, they can do 100% of the material. But because I average grades for the purpose of penalizing children who take longer to learn, I give this child a B. Now remember, they can do 100% of the material. This student here, my third student, comes in, they could do 100% of the material from day 1, and they know it. And they come in, they don't do any work, they're a distraction. In fact, honestly, I think this student would have done better if they hadn't been sitting next to this student the whole time, if you know what I mean. So this student is disrespectful and doesn't have that work process piece I'm looking for. They know 100% of the standards, but I got to get them with something. 10% for not doing their homework, B. My last student comes in, and they can do about 75 to 78% of the material. But you never saw a better ambassador, a diplomat in the classroom willing to help everyone. And their work ethic, they did extra credit. They came in every time saying, what can I do to improve my grade? They came to extra help work sessions I didn't even offer. This student wanted to achieve. And so in the end, I gave them the B. B, 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 and B. All 4 students got the same grade, which proves, if I'm doing any version of this kind of logical grading with the 100-point scale and averaging, that my grades are not accurate. They are not consistent. And when we give those kinds of grades to future grade levels or to universities, they get very frustrated because they don't get an honest, clear picture of what the student is able to do and what is going on with their learning and their behavior, their dispositions. So that means it's not meaningful. And in the end, because of the way I set that up, it doesn't actually promote learning. It keeps the children in the obey state of their brain as opposed to the toward state or active learning. This is why standards-based grading and reporting is getting so much attention. And this is why we want to consider, how do you actually work to make standards-based grading and the reporting in the report card a reality in our systems?